everybody, this is David with David Stream. I hope everybody's doing well today. Let's go ahead and get this up and running, because Steel Series is not up and I'm not able to hear anything, so bear with me while I get this handled. Alright, Streamlabs, Steel Series, Steel Series, Steel Series. Yeah. Now, where we last... Where we last left off, it was here. Let's just make certain we're in the right map one. Yep, that's the right one. Silver Ravens.
Greetings, Commander. Come on in.
Packing enough heat at least. All right. Ay, ay, ay. Not interested in that stuff.
Command interface initiated.
Moving to position.
Roger.
Coordinates received.
I hear ya.
Jumping. Yep. Firing jump jets.
Copy that. We've got an unknown on sensors.
Waiting for orders. Target confirmed.
What can I do for you? Coordinates received. Good to go.
Hey, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
What you up to?
Got it.
Killing stuff.
Ooh, Battletech.
Mm-hmm.
You streaming?
Yep.
No comment?
Yeah, I said I am.
Good to go.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm streaming.
Engaging jump jet.
But right now I'm just here doing my business.
Target confirmed.
Nice. $60-ton vehicle, either a Manicore or a
Hello, gamers. How are we?
Kaiser, hey.
Hey,
What you up to today?
Image is light.
just another lovely day at work.
Hmm. Mini
Emphasis
pack?
on lovely day at work.
Minimal.
Every part of it.
Yep. Do you got many packages, or is it kind of a slower day for you?
Oh, I got packages. It's not a slower day by any means. Darn, someone else didn't show up for the route, so I'm splitting another route with someone else.
Oh
So after
no.
I'm done with my route, I have to go across town and deliver more stuff.
Roger.
Yep. I was hearing from one of my post workers that that they're really stupidly short-handed.
Yeah, that's sadly a commonality in this line of work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just currently taking a moment to reorganize the packages I have
Receiving you.
because, yeah, I have to.
Up high.
Understood.
Oh, wait. What's this? Oh, pack it up. I just said the pen. Okay. Ignore it.
Affirmative.
There we go.
It is super warm here today. Is it warm where you guys are?
Oh god, yes.
Yeah.
Waiting for orders.
I was outside for what, like a minute? And all of a sudden I start sweating like I'm a whore in a church. Trying to go
Whore
to
in a church?
confession.
It's 97 degrees here.
Target acquired. Vehicle down. Waiting
That's
for
about
orders.
64 degrees warmer than I like it.
You betcha.
I don't know why. I was like trying to picture a whore in a church. And I was like, well, you know, darn.
34 degrees, excuse me.
You get a headshot, and you get a headshot.
In my opinion, that's the only place she doesn't have to sweat. Safe place to
You know,
be.
y'all have made me think about that. Some of I don't know if you watched Critical about 10 years ago, but he used to dub over infomercials. In one of the infomercials, he decided to make fun of was this TV commercial, which was basically drywall in a can. You would
Mhm.
spray it on the hole in the wall, and then take like a little like paint spreader thing, and take the overmuch, and take the extra off, so it's level with the wall, and paint it over until your wall's fixed. But you know, they have like do this old 2000s infomercial with like, well, look up at the settling cracks, the door dings, and it was supposed to be just like hammer holes or drill holes or like just holes in the wall.
Mhm.
But every time that part came up, he would dub it over as glory holes.
Oh,
Oh, would you look
jeez.
at that, another glory hole in the wall? Well, you can't fix that, but you know you can. You can't fix the cherished memories, but you can fix the hole and stop the operation in this house.
Receiving you.
Be right back.
Oh my god. Oh, terrible. Terrible.
Imagine all the church, and I'm thinking, man. Oh, look, I fixed the holes in the wall, okay?
Oh.
It's just a basic, clean, early 2000s commercial.
Oh, yeah.
People
Yeah.
running around. Well, I can't fix the terrible parents that let you kids about to go with the broom, but I can fix that wall.
Oh, yes.
Damage is minor, Commander. Orders?
Big Mick, go stomp.
Aye, aye. Targeting for physical attack.
Worth the ammo.
Big Mac go stomp, and it's not worth the ammo? Man.
Good to go. Taking the shot.
Give them everything you've got.
Hello, how are you?
Reporting. One less vehicle.
Eh.
And I had money for a stamp and he didn't pick it up.
My apologies,
Okay.
back in,
Hold on.
where is May?
Sorry, folks. I had to cut that off. Don't worry about it.
Waiting on you, Commander. Got it. Got it.
Just give it a minute.
Barely hit, Commander.
Ouch.
Orders. Roger. Ooh.
Good to go. I read you, Commander. Moving out. Uh-huh.
So I could use push to talk.
Ah, I see.
That way we're not getting my video game chat as well as the chat here.
Mm-hmm.
How dare you give all that?
Ready for orders. On my way.
I mean, y'all might not want to hear the Outlast trial.
I know, it's a spoopy fun thing.
I'm sure I could outlast those trials.
You say that. But they're difficult.
Yep, because the other players.
Now the other players are the problem? Maybe sometimes.
100%.
Some of the times I die due to the fact that I go back to help others. And sometimes I live because others come back to help me, so that's why I go back.
You know how many times I had to like play Left 4 Dead or Back 4 Blood, and basically I know the way forward, and so do the other players, but they still want to go and open every building and look at everything, and I'm like, if it's Back 4 Blood, we literally have X-ray vision. We can see what's in the house because like little blue outlines.
Aren't there things
It's
you
not
need
a
to pick
question
up
what's there. Need to pick up is a strong word. Different guns and stuff can be purchased in Back 4 Blood with the kill credits you get. That much actually solves itself. Left 4 Dead is arcadey. Left 4 Dead is basically a fact that the longer you're in a session of Left 4 Dead, sure, the more zombies you shoot, but the more damage you're going to take. Because the special effect that inevitably come back. And there's going to be plenty of chances to shoot Left 4 Dead, because there's plenty of gauntlet events where you have to stay still and hold your ground. The only time you need to like look for something, and even then on most maps this still isn't the case, is if you need to tear up your gun. Like if you have the SMG or pump shotty, and you go into a map and it's like there's access to a tac shotty or a burst assault rifle, you always take it, because it's strictly
Ready
better.
for orders.
And if it's in the middle of a map, for some maps, it gives it to you anyway. Like in the first session, Dead Center gives it to you at the gun store. You're naturally in a place with a tier up. You don't have to look for it, it's right there in the wall.
Vehicle trashed.
Those ones it's fine to take a step off and grab, because obviously it's better. But you know, you can heal up at the gun store, grab a gun, be out of there within like 15 seconds, and you're good. That's not like a hard thing to do. But if you sit there and like think about it and the next wave spawns while you're in there, well now you're just kinda like stuck. It's like, sure man, we could take an extra wave, we're good. But if they keep busting in and doing stuff and you get smoked out there, now I have to go get you. You're taking damage, I'm running through a horde, someone needs to back me up, and if there's friendly fire, so help me. It all gets complicated. And
Oh, I hate people that... I can't handle friendly fire. In games where
Well,
it's so easy to not friendly fire.
in Left 4 Dead, it's easy to not friendly fire, to an extent.
Yeah.
After a certain point, you kind of feel like you could hold out a paint gun and hold the trigger and everything's going to hit something undead.
Yeah.
Locked on for physical attack.
Kind of like EDF in that regard. By the way, David, did you ever play EDF before?
Reporting. Vehicle
EDF.
destroyed.
No, I'm not 100% sure I have yet.
What does EDF stand for? I'm gonna ask the dumb question.
Defense Force. That's not dumb, you're fine asking. If I'm the person who knows this game, then no one else is going to know the answer anyway. Which makes it a very smart question.
What did you say it stands for?
Earth Defense Force.
Oh, cool.
That's a third-person shooter where you play as the esteemed members of the EDF, and your job is to save your Mother Earth from any alien attack, from vicious giant insects who have once again come back.
Commander.
And you run around with the most potent bug repellent known to man, generally called explosives and 12 gauge. Introduce the insects to the other end of town.
What can I do for you?
That's pretty convincing argument right there.
It's a lot of fun. It's a weird, wacky, funny game to play with friends.
Nice.
You got like through the people of EDF. I played through 4.1 and I played through every mission. We just had a blast unlocking new weapons. I mean,
Oh yeah.
actually, I'll go ahead and give like a bit of the information download. The game is class-based, which is to say there's 4 different classes you can play.
Ooh.
The Ranger is the most like grassroots, bespoke, simple class. You run out with a gun and another gun. You have like 2 weapon slots, and I think that's about it actually. But that's because your weapon slot can be your sniper, your shotgun, your AR, your rocket launcher, your drone, grenades, or anything else under this. And everything has certain devastating qualities to it. A good example is eventually, instead of just throwing grenades, you'll be throwing like Hammer of Dawn markers. And lasers will just be running from the sky, and suddenly the grenades can anti or counter a giant beam.
Okay. Wow.
Your rocket launcher tends to do the most damage, but there's also missile launchers that if a teammate brings like the target relay, can actually heat seek enemies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff that happens.
You're talking missile and
the-
rocket launchers. You're speaking my language.
The
Oh
second
yeah.
class is called the Wing Diver. This is like the most anime class. You play as like this woman in a suit that can make her fly. She has a rechargeable battery backpack that powers your flight and powers your weapons. She is most often equipped with things that like shoot lightning bolts like Dark Sidious, or like railgun across the map like a sniper rifle with no bullet drop, or like high spread amounts of thunder shocks that's going all around. In other words, she's like the class that can wield like the Nexus type weapons that just hit everything around you. So she's really good spread in that sense. And she can get up on a building, switch her secondary, and just blast things from a distance. Cool class. 10 out of 10. It's the one I have the least amount of experience in. The third class, and this is by far my favorite class, is called the Air Raider. This is like the Ranger, but your weapon kit is totally different. Whereas the Ranger has 2 guns, the Air Raider only gets like aerial markers and like bomb and stuff. And he gets the vehicle spotter, which is like something only he can do. The Air Raider can like call out for a helicopter drop or a tank drop or like a medevac drop. And you just heal your teammates or fly around in the air, and you get like a helicopter that shoots a flamethrower out in front of it, and you can just zoom around burning ants from the sky. So very exhilarating action. And his like normal weapons, the things that are about as, you know, basic as you can imagine, amount to like holding 10 C4 charges and just go click, 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 click in the ground at like maximum submission, and then like, you know, an ant walks up to you and it no longer stands there, it no longer exists there because the C4 went up and it did its job. He's like this like weirdly defensive class, but he's defensive in his ability to control terrain, which can be very offensive in the right hands.
Firing everything I've got.
Nice.
That's in Raider. He's awesome. But also, like, the vehicles he summons are awesome, because as you play the game and get bigger and bigger summons, eventually he's like bringing out full-on mech suit. Like 10-story tall Gundams that just swing its arms around and bat at giant bugs. And like, his normal things will range from like an actual Hammer-a-Dawn marker pistol where you just control a satellite blaster. Oh, that one's awesome. And to Mrs. Wedgeworth, sorry I missed you, but I'm back now. There you go.
Yeah, I did.
Good time. I hope and pray you have a good one.
I've got a sensor lock.
Yeah, I think the most fun I had with Air Raider was playing on maps, seeing anthills would spawn on the map, and they just generate ants en masse,
What can I do
pointing
for you?
at it with a satellite blaster, and then just stopping the pointing and letting the Hammer-a-Dawn just sit there and spawn camp.
Oof.
Ants come crawling out of the hill and immediately get eviscerated by the laser, and I'm like, yep. Now I switch to my other weapon and play with this for a bit. Well, the anthill just crumbles. Usually that would be like, unironically, a number of games where I just brought 2 of those blasters. And the other one, I would actively shoot right next to me, but not close enough to hurt me. In case any monsters got close, I would just kite my own laser
Good to go.
while bringing the laser around me in case they get close to me. And then my vehicle would be like
Don't need to tell me
what I'm kind of like bringing down and spawning so I can use after the blasters on cooldown. Because Air Raider and EDF works on a different system than typical reloading. So like Ranger just puts a new clip and it works. Wing Diver has to like wait for a battery to charge, and different weapons take different amounts of charge. But Air Raider works quite literally off of kill credits. His weapons don't function if he's not proving to the United Nations that he is worth the money they're putting into him.
Oh my goodness.
So every big thing you do with them has to actually, you know, prove to be big. Otherwise, you're just like, no more for you. We're not responding to your calls anymore. But when you're playing Air Raider right, He's the most like, how does the YouTuber Russian Bachelor put it? The most hand in Doritos bag character there is.
Oh my
Because
god.
anything happens, you just like bring big option over to it and kill it while it's still active. And then go back and take the option somewhere else to do something. Like you could just stand still with the hammer at dawn and just like, you know, metaphorically drag your finger across the map, killing everything along the way. Just okay, we're gonna go this way. We're gonna go this way. And just I should have mentioned this game has friendly fire. Because of course it does. So if you're a bad air raider, you're very quickly going to turn it into a single player game.
Yes, Commander.
Receiving.
Because you get to watch where your teammates are. Oh yeah, and rounding up the selection of classes for EDF, one of the more tanky horde shooters that I just mentioned again, is the Fencer. This guy is truly the best and most cursed class simultaneously, which
Oh,
is impressive because I just explained Air Raider. But Fencer is like the power suit man. Fencer is the class that when everybody's picking out their weapons, assault rifles, rocket launchers, ray guns, thunder wavers, you know, summoning helicopters with missile launchers and summoning railgun tanks and giant mech suits. The Fencer gets in his power armor, looks at his weapon selection, and says, yeah, I'll take the rocket-powered hammer.
They've flown past my
I will
radar.
be the melee class.
Of course.
And he says, yeah, I'll also take a minigun and dual wield a hammer and a minigun
Aye, aye.
because they works. Because your left trigger controls your left weapon, your right trigger controls your right weapon, and he just completely overhauls the controls for a class. Like he does not handle like other classes at all. Ranger can aim down sights left trigger. That's awesome. Our Air Raider, I don't think even has a left trigger option. He just doesn't need it. But like Fencer, if you hold down left trigger, your minigun fires. You hold down right trigger, he starts holding back the hammer like he's prepping to swing it.
You're gonna have to work a little harder
And you get
now.
options on this character. The thing about him though is the coolest and the most fun. Because this is made with like Xbox One controllers and PS4 controllers back at that time. He can also like prep on your bumpers, do secondary actions with the weapons you're holding. So like, if you're holding a minigun and you hit the bumper associated to that side, he'll like jump in the air really high so he can shoot something that's flying by literally jumping 3 stories in the air. And if you're holding like a melee weapon and you hit the trigger, I'm pretty sure he does like a dash forward kind of thing. But does he dash forward? He does something else. I can't remember what it is.
My armor's getting
But no, because the dashboard is attached to shields, and this is where it gets funny. Oh no, it's still dashes for melees. Shields are considered melee, but they're actually like they parry anything. The reason shields are cool on him is because for some reason EDF 4.1, you can cancel your secondary actions into your primary actions. That's important for guns because you don't want to jump and be stuck in a jump animation and do nothing. That would be purpose. But for like shields, he can like dash and then shield parry and dash and shield parry like into each other and just zoom across the map with like a hammer in your other hand and just fly up to things and uppercut them into the stratosphere.
That hit
It's a
hard.
great class to play. Like, this is the game that started with, yeah, I'm a third-person horde shooter. I blow up things with gun. It's cool.
Location.
And then, you know, I fly around with gun. Oh, you're cool. You fly around with gun. I respect that. Oh, no, look at me. I summon airstrikes. I throw down a smoke grenade, and that whole mile radius gets turned into a wasteland due to an artillery howitzer barrage.
Aye, aye.
Yeah, that's a cool class. This guy, I zoom across the map and pinpoint strike anything I can see. Yeah, it's great.
Reporting. Critical hit.
He could like dual-wield buster swords, which when fully charged unleash like electric arc attacks, turning your melee weapons into legitimate projectile weapons. And you're just able to zoom around and zoom, spin around and cut around you like it. Like honestly, it's a lot more animated Wing Diver, but like you know, he's a guy with power armor. He looks like he came out of Fallout. Like it looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
By far, cool game.
Cool.
When
So-
is this Left 4 Dead thing, by the way?
What Left 4 Dead thing?
I didn't know if
Oh,
we talked to a
Gran
friend about it.
Gran Key and Arden are going to be doing a Left 4 Dead event on the 12th.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Okay, the 12th. I'll have to remember that. That's kind of soon, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Also, I've been doing a lot of talking. Sorry, I've been like holding you up there.
No, it's fine. I'm just listening, and I'm definitely taking interest in the game. So it's called EDF.
Yes, Earth Defense Force.
I'm enjoying listening.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. It is a legitimate hoot and holler of a game of friends, but also it definitely will like. It can test people. It can test people pretty hard.
Sounds
I
like mine.
things that come off as like a lot of fun, but then
There's actually like an upper level to what you're doing, and you realize like, oh, this is like skill involved.
Scored a critical
Yeah.
hit.
That's me playing my games, and I'm like, wait a second, I can mess this up. Oh no.
I just bought Mass Effect because it was on sale.
Oh,
Standing
that's.
by.
What do you guys think of it? Have you played it before?
I have
I
not.
have never.
Go
I
ahead.
think
You
that's
first.
your answer.
I have
never
not.
played Mass
That is
Effect except for 3.
that is a big game, though. Be prepared to sink like 60 to 100 and to 200 hours into the game. Good job.
Will do.
I've never played the older Mass Effects, but I've always heard they were very, very good.
It's supposed
Paragon
got
versus
all
Renegade.
of the series in it. Supposed
Good to go.
It's a big game, and yeah, they're
Is it like Halo?
bigger,
Oh,
bigger.
no, it's more like Knights of the Old Republic, but like not turn-based combat. Like you can still run around and punch people like it's more GTA, right? But it's more story-driven. You have Paragon options, you have Renegade options. Are you a good guy? Are you a bad guy?
Receiving you.
Do you save this planet from devastation? You know, Team Rocket reference, by the way.
Yep.
Do you sleep with the alien? Do you go full government? There's a million different things in the game. Like,
Yes.
a couple of friends were talking about the game as if they knew it like the back of their hand, and 3 of my friends all said, it's Paragon all the way because it's a good guy thing, but also always punch the reporter. And I was like, what? And I did not ask what game it was. I want to know now what Mass Effect game does a person like pressure the microphone. You have the Renegade option to just detective and the schnoz because that
Yeah.
sounds hilarious.
I'm gonna need to know which one it is, which game you need to play.
Oh, you'll probably figure it out if you
Oh
play
yes,
it.
you will. You will. I want to be a fly on the wall while you play that series, though, because it's a massive.
Well, you can come join.
It's gonna have a
it's-
Mass Effect on her.
Yes, it is.
You are welcome to join me when I play.
Orders.
Well, it is single player. You're going to have a lot of fun with the story, though.
Jumping.
Its story's impressive. Going through all the different options and everything, beautiful.
Watching the game being played, if it's a situation you're personally a part of, it's just as much fun as actually playing a game.
Acknowledge.
Oh yes.
Not a lot of people I know kind of understand the fun of getting to sit there and socialize.
Oh,
While
absolutely.
watching a game you like to play. You know how many friends I wish I could just buy Undertale for and watch them play it?
Well,
But
the
they just kind of won't play it.
I have a question. If you
Yeah.
played Undertale and you didn't, okay, I'm gonna be. This is big spoilers for people. Okay, Undertale is a game where it starts out like an RPG fighter thing where you level up and you kill things. However, you find out to your chagrin that it's not all it's made out to be. What happens if you choose to play the game like they want you to initially? What happens?
What do you mean? Like, don't kill anybody?
Absolutely.
That's what I did. What question are you asking?
Well, what happens if you played the original game playthrough like you didn't kill anybody? What happens?
It's a good game.
Ooh.
That is still what I did.
Yeah.
Knowing the game is interacting with you as the player is still a very fun part of it, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
still apparent to you as a player what's going on, even if you didn't like do that. In fact, you want to know one of the more fun bits? I was struggling to figure out how to actually not kill the first boss in Undertale. And after a certain point, I went ahead and offed her and went to the next scene. And I was like, no, I'm ruining things here. I gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
And I told myself I'm gonna figure it out. I restarted the game without saving back to that point. And then, if you already know some of the subtle points about Undertale, that has a very permanent mark on your playthrough regardless.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's very entertaining to see this meta knowledge in a game. Because I get through it, and I spare her, and I get to the next thing, and the engine of the story in the early part, the flower's still there, and he comes up and he's like, I saw what you did! You killed her! But she still stands! I don't know what you're up to, but I know you're not any better than you say you are. And he just leaves.
That game is so meta. That game is so meta.
Yeah. And that's what's so cool about it.
Oh, man.
It's such a hard game to talk about. Because under the context, it's something that if somebody knows all the gimmicks, it doesn't work.
Yeah. It's one reason.
That's the problem with these single-player experiences.
Yeah.
Engaging with target.
It's one reason why I know about the game. I haven't played it. I want to play it, but the problem is knowing about the game already. It ruins my play experience.
Oh, you might not know everything about it though. That is still important. And ignorance is bliss in this exact scenario because learning the game and figuring it out organically as an intelligent human being, that's part of the fun process.
Mm-hmm.
Learning the game is fun.
Oh yeah. Well,
like, if you're so plugged into the meme culture of people who are younger than us, like, see, you're
oh god, yes, yes.
then you definitely know, like, there's at least two main endings. I don't care if you know about the fact that you had to fight the funny skeleton man. That's been known for like 8 years now. The game can't have proper spoiler territory. If you do not know how every boss fight works, and you don't know how characters interact, especially if you do not know how to get the true good ending, play it anyway. I didn't kill anybody. I still didn't get the true good ending. I'll tell you right now, not killing everybody, that's not all it takes. There's a lot of like little things you have to do in the game. There's like puzzles and funny content that you just figure out. And then you get it. And then it works. And then you're scared because the true good ending is still very scary.
Yes, it is.
Waiting for orders.
That was like fun to figure out. Although I never want to see that spider abomination again. Holy crap.
Yes, Commander.
You make it sound interesting.
It is an interesting game.
If you don't know about Undertale, you should play Undertale
I
at
do
some
not know
point.
about Undertale.
I'm glad you did, because it's a better game than Just Play. It was for like a few years ago, it was held around in like, in my opinion, ruined to the older audience because it was pretty heavily marketed to like kids and early teenagers.
Yes.
The same thing that happened to like Five Nights at Freddy's and any other mascot horror series, which is worth mentioning. Undertale is not a mascot horror series.
No, it's
but
not.
it's touted around the same kind of audience, in my opinion.
Unfortunately, I would agree. But the thing is, any gamer worth their salt at least knows of the game. At least knows of it.
I knew about it before it was popular. I actually played it in 2015. Like when it first came out. Because an upperclassman was like, you know, play Undertale? It was like $10. I tried it out, and my joke was that actually like fun. was asking about it. What's the game we're talking about? Oh, Undertale. I was like, oh, I heard of that like twice. Well, what about it? And he was like, well, if you play it, all you need to know is you either don't kill anybody, or you go full Dragon Quest and you kill everybody. There's no in between.
By the time our forces found him, it was too late.
And I was just like, I
I'm
see.
sorry, Command.
You know, obviously able to grasp a simple
He
decision
was
branch and the two endings here.
Here.
Yeah.
And obviously grasping the I should follow this branch to the end kind of
Yes.
game later.
And the problem is the game gets really ridiculous to try not to kill some of the bosses as far as I know.
Yeah.
I do not know the full details about how hard it is.
I would discuss that here, but if we can get this girl here to actually play it, I will tune into that stream.
Like I said,
I will fully support it.
I've never played it, but the fact is, since I had the ending spoiled for me, and I don't know how to get to that point, but still, it's one of those things where I'm gonna hold off and not play it. But I will watch another person play through it blindly and see what happens.
And that's just gonna ruin the fun for you then.
Oh, well, I may try it.
It is good. If she plays through it and does the pacifist run, you should do the genocide run.
Oh, I'll do
Because that
full on.
one, it doesn't. You're good, sorry.
Oh, don't worry. I'll do full on murder hobo if she goes pacifist.
Yeah, because the genocide run is like easily 3 times harder.
You know me. Do you think I'm gonna play a pacifist?
I do heavily suggest playing pacifist because like that's the one that works. That's the one that works best for context and story. Genocide run, the guy who made the game put in a lot of effort to make you feel like a piece of crap if you do genocide.
Oh, at the end
I'm
of it,
talking
absolutely.
like straight up before the end of it. I'm talking like that. Like that gif of Tigger in Winnie the Pooh, and he's like walking away and he turns around sad as can be. That's like the general mood of genocide. It just hits you in the gut, and like you can sit there and try and be detached, but you have to really work at it to be detached. If you are immersing yourself in the game. Genocide makes it really hard to immerse in the game. And this game is really good at fitting in the story.
And
But like,
starved.
you can't tell everybody about the
our
story.
people.
Obviously, there's no story. People are dead.
And where was I? Hiding in a palace,
That's my
Years away.
general judgment.
building support, planning. While the Directorate's secret police turned neighbor against neighbor, made your loved ones disappear, conscripted your children. I wasn't here. I didn't know. The crimes that I have witnessed here today are unforgivable. No doubt, Director Espinosa believes that the ends justify the means, that the Oregon Reach has been made strong. Well, I say
I
that
just gotta turn
strength
around.
built on fear is brittle.
My apologies.
The Directorate is a paper tiger, and I declare this restoration today to rally the true strength of our people, our resilience, and our freedom.
Getting Cindy lingers
Let
in conversation.
Wildry be a call to arms. Join us, and together we will liberate the founding houses and retake Cormadir. Not because it is my birthright, but because the Directorate's crimes against you, the Oregon people, will no longer be tolerated. That is what I fight for, and I vow to fight for your freedoms to my dying breath.
Oh, also, Undertale soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Best of its like old style game soundtracks. Love the Undertale soundtrack.
Undertale is the coolest name for a game. Just so
Oh, it's cool.
So is it like a
People like
mafia type game?
And Undertale? No, the general story of Undertale is very RPG actually. It's like there's monsters, there's humans, and the big game starts with like a basic backline story. It's like, you know, humans and monsters were together at some point. No, they're not. We haven't seen monsters in a while. Anyway, you're a kid playing in a field, falls in a hole. Congratulations. You're underground.
And you
There's
just
monsters. Yeah. Like, it's a bit more dramatic and poetic than that. And then, like, I'll tell you a bit more, but... Yeah, that's the general story. There's not much else to explore. At that point, the story as an engine is very much carried by the character.
Gotcha.
And after you get to meet the characters, it'll like actually build the back world again after the characters, because there's a lot of cool zany people. Dee, did I tell you that I did another playthrough of Cave Story this year?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that was a fun one, revisiting Cave Story after so long. I think I beat it in 2 days. And
Oh
I was
my.
like, man, I'm slow. I don't know all the speedrun tactics, and I messed up a couple of measurements, but we got there.
All right.
All in all, I could probably beat it in about like 5 hours, I think.
Check out this.
But
Hello, Commander.
there was significantly more to it with the final boss fight. Like, I think I was on the final boss area chamber for like at least 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the game, fine. You get to the Balos run, and it's like, oh, that's I forgot about this. Oh no.
New financial report for you, Commander.
This is big issues, big enough buttons. Also, a friend of mine that I was playing Rabbit and Steel with yesterday started talking about Heroes of the Storm. And I was like, yeah, cool MOBA, has a lot of neat characters. It's really unbalanced if you actually start to take the game even a bit seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I think like we haven't played the game in over a year, both of us, but we had a solid like 5 to 7 minute conversation just complaining about every part of the design choice. Specifically, it started on Murky because of course Murky has a lot of.
Hold on a
terrible
moment. I
design
got a
choices.
phone call. I'll be right back.
You good? So, what you playing right now, anyway?
Me, I'm playing the Outlast Trials.
Playing what?
The Outlast Trials. You ever played it?
Yeah, we did talk about that earlier. No, I haven't played it. I don't have too much interest in trying it out, but I do remember we did just talk about that. I already forgot. My apologies. The closest I got to games like the Outlast Trials was playing Dead by Daylight, and I put enough time in Dead by Daylight to be good at Dead by Daylight. So I prefer to stick to that one if I'm playing some weird team cooperative asymmetrical horror versus type of deal.
Yeah, I put enough time into the Outlast Trials to be pretty good at it too, in comparison.
That is very good to hear.
I'm not great, but I'm better at it than some games.
It's some of your friends.
Yeah. Good enough to help keep my buds from dying. And avoid trap. Most of the time.
Yeah. I wonder where they find the high concentration of insane people that want to kill anybody they see except for each other.
They pick them up on the street. And then they make them insane.
Yeah, but how do they create like the hive mind effect where they won't kill each other?
The insanity is in-house.
Insanity is in-house. I see.
Yeah,
that's a special formula. I can't get the. It's like the Krusty Krab Patty formula. Trade secret.
Yeah, it's
You don't understand localized insanity? Bring it.
so that it's all the same flavor.
New equipment available.
Why is he not attacking him? Because they're both insane. Does that give them a no friendly fire tag? What are you talking about? They're both insane.
Calculating course now.
There should be bum fights. We should be like betting on who's gonna win and throw a broken bottle in there.
I wrapped up that job you asked for, Commander.
I like the weekly trials and stuff that they set up. It's nice.
All right, folks. Hey, I do apologize. I just got a phone call, so I'm gonna be over on. I'm gonna be having to hold over on the. Oh gosh, what is it?
How could you? I can't believe you do this.
Well, no. I'm gonna have to hop off because a person who I help out periodically has had confidence issues after backing up into somebody by accident. And so they don't feel good driving, so they're asking me to actually come along with them and help them out.
Okay.
So in about...
I think it is. Tell her I said hi.
I will.
And it's significant confidence issues. Will do though.
Older woman. And it's one of those things. She had a slight accident and just kind of messed things up for herself. It's not overly a huge deal, but it's one of those things where it's like, yikes. Navigate.
See, now you gotta make her feel better by rear-ending someone else yourself while she's in the passenger.
Oh,
and
I'm
then be like, oh no, I just don't think I should drive anymore. Do you know a friend we can call? And she's gonna be like, that's what you're here for. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, but I just rear-ended somebody. Clearly I can't.
Yeah.
That'd be like, that could be
I don't think
sarcastic,
that would
but
work.
yeah.
I don't think rear-ending somebody with her vehicle would be such a good thing. She's got a nice vehicle too. It's a Hyundai Elantra.
Oh,
I
nice.
see.
2023, I think. So yeah, it's a newer model. It's just she backed into somebody.
Yeah, was it? So it wasn't a lot of damage, but it was enough to shake her up, huh?
Her trunk is dented to the point where she's probably gonna have to do $300 or $400 worth of repair. It didn't work.
Today?
No, it happened a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
You reminded me. You ever seen that movie Ford versus
Hold on.
Ferrari?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I want to. Hold on.
I've got the financial report.
The clip of that movie where the guy's trying to get his car to pass inspection for a race he's at, and it's like just a bit too big or something. And so, in reaction to hearing that the car has to be smaller, he like.
Well, never mind. She
Yada,
changed her mind. Yada yada.
Alrighty then.
Yada yada.
We're nearly broke,
Does it?
Commander.
But in
You
Ford
got the
versus Ferrari,
you got the reference for that too.
yeah. But this guy, I think they're saying the car he brought to a race was like too big or something, or it needed like more room for in the trunk or something. And so he's like, "You need more room in the trunk? This is just a little too small." And he opens up the trunk, and it's like a hatchback truck, so it swings up. And he you see him spin around and brandish this wrench he was holding, and he just beats the inside of the trunk door, denting it all out, and then slams it shut, and it doesn't want to latch, and he just pushes hard down on it, and it latches. And he's like, "There, you want to measure that now?" Look at that! Look at all this extra space I created because he told me to. He is a very vindictive character, but I really love that bit. He just beats the tar out of his own car to make more space. And the judge is just sitting there watching him wail on his own car with a wrench. And he's like, I think we can skip on this regulation for this one.
He sounds delightful.
He's clearly... Oh, yeah, no. The actual racer character of Ford versus Ferrari is he has no credence as to whether you're going to like what he has to say or not. He's very much he's no-nonsense character. Love him to pieces.
I need to watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw a clip of one of them telling the other one off about how I guess you just don't care about safety, but we do.
Yeah, and isn't it when he says, "You know I'm gonna lamp you with this, right?" And he just whips the wrench at his head.
Wow.
You keep talking like that, I'm gonna throw this at you. It's just common sense.
All right, folks.
They sound like brothers.
I'm gonna hop off for a little bit. I'll still be on Discord, but